Hey, why couldn't the defensive end pass any of his tests?
Why not?
He was a tackling dummy.
First and foremost, you know the name.
Welcome to First and Four, podcast for father and his firstborn, break down America's four biggest sports: football, basketball, baseball, and hockey. Let's get right into it with our film room segment. We'll talk about the Super Bowl today, of course.
Of course, yeah.
29-13 Seahawks over the Patriots in Super Bowl 60. I'm pretty excited about it. Got my Seahawks jersey. Yeah, definitely an exciting, not the most exciting game, I guess, to watch, but it was still exciting for me.
Yeah, I think if you're a Seahawks fan, it was super exciting.
Yeah.
And if you like defense, very defensive game, especially the first half, 9-0 or whatever in the first half, I think. And then second half, maybe kind of later on, it opened up a little bit more for both teams. But fantastic game by the Seahawks overall. I mean, great to see them back on top again. I'm glad to not see the Patriots trying to start up another dynasty here. And obviously, yeah, with you guys being big Seahawks fans, you and your brother, pretty exciting to have another one in the house here. Yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned the defense. 6 sacks last night, which was just one shy of tying the Super Bowl records. The Seahawks, Steelers in Super Bowl 10, the 85 Bears Super Bowl 20, Broncos, the Von Miller in Super Bowl 50, and then Rams in Super Bowl 56 all have 7.
Yeah.
Or Seahawks. Oh my gosh, Seahawks had 6. Seahawks had 7 last night.
Yeah. No, it was awesome. And I think the Patriots only had 5 first downs maybe through the 3 quarters.
Through the third quarter, yeah. And then I saw something about the passing yards. Drake May, 235 was up there for the most in a quarter in Super Bowl history.
Yeah.
It's really just garbage.
It's garbage time. Yeah, exactly. It's some garbage time. He kind of mopped up there towards the end. But yeah, I think the turnovers also, 3 turnovers by the defense, 2 interceptions. The one fumble was huge. I felt like when that fumble happened, that really kind of iced it almost. I mean, I think that second interception they had as well, but they once they started getting some turnovers, and that's what I think. A lot of people watching the game, maybe it wasn't as exciting, but once there were some turnovers and more things kind of happening, the Seahawks though, they didn't turn the ball over at all in the playoffs. They were the first team to go through the playoffs without turning the ball over. So pretty cool. They didn't expect them to really turn the ball over, and they didn't. I mean, Sam Darnold didn't have to play spectacular, but he played well enough, right, to win the game. Didn't make mistakes. Obviously, having Kenneth Walker back there in the backfield with him was pretty key because he had an excellent game. Obviously, offensive or MVP of the Super Bowl for Kenneth Walker, and 27 rushes, 135 yards, so 5 yards a carry. He didn't get a touchdown, but pretty much did everything else for them to make sure they won that game. So
I actually watching the game. I wonder if they might just give it to Jason Myers, MVP.
Yeah,
was it 5 field goals was actually a Super Bowl record, also.
Yeah. I didn't realize that. 5.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a record too.
It was there were a bunch of guys tied at 4.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think
pretty impressive.
If he would have had a longer one, or maybe like a game winning,
I
could see. Maybe it was just because it was just kind of vanilla, 40-yard kicks or whatever kind of, and there wasn't a whole lot else. But yeah, I mean, if Walker, like you said, wouldn't have had the game he had, I'm not sure who else you give it to. I mean, the defense.
I don't know either. Yeah,
unless you just give it to the entire defense, right?
Because, really complete.
It was a complete defensive win, I would say. But Jason Myers, you mentioned him. He also set the record for most highest score or scoring for an NFL season as well, with I think 204 points is maybe what he had, or something like
past
that.
LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah. So pretty awesome for him, like you said. Special teams, we talked about it a couple weeks ago with the game they had with the Rams. That the Rams really didn't focus on special teams. The Seahawks had great special teams with Shaheed they brought in. Jason Myers, obviously a great season from him. Great game yesterday from him. Again, not spectacular, but he's doing the things he needs to do, making every kick that he needed to. And, it was almost like bend, don't break for the Patriots, where they're allowing some yardage. The Seahawks were getting down there, not getting touchdowns, but they're just kicking field goals. Everything's going in. And then when they're shutting them down on defense, the Patriots couldn't score. Uh, that was the big difference, right? And then I think, again, second half kind of opened up a little bit more and started seeing some more scoring. Barner looked really good, I thought, from the Seahawks. He had a really good game. JSN was kind of non-existent for the first half even, and then I know he went out with a concussion. They were checking him out in the second half. But he had a few drops early on, too, that were...
Yeah, he just didn't look, I don't know, quite right, I guess. Cooper Kupp led the team in receiving, actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. 6 receptions, 61 yards.
Yeah. Got another big comeback guy.
Yeah, it's cool to see.
Yeah, it was good to see him doing well. And obviously Sam Darnold 1-1, getting the monkey off his back now, I think. His 5th team that he started for, and then 5th in 8 years. And then to come out and win the Super Bowl is that's pretty awesome for him. So, yeah, pretty excited for Sam and the team. And, see what they do in the offseason now, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. So I guess Kenneth Walker is their biggest free agent.
Yeah.
So that'll be a guy that I want to get back, especially with Charbonnet probably being out a lot of next season. I don't know what the timeline looks like on that, but yeah, that's a big one, and that's gonna be a large signing as well. I guess he's gonna be able to get a lot of money out there.
Yeah, especially with that performance.
Yeah, absolutely. And then their roster as a whole, though, just isn't all that expensive, which is kind of that helps them a little bit. I think Darnold's making 36 or something like that next year. And then as far as other free agents, like Reek Woolen's a free agent. I don't even know if they'll bring him back. He was fine.
Yeah, he allowed that touchdown.
Yeah, he did allow the touchdown to Mac Hollins.
Yeah.
And then Rashid Shaheed's another big one, which would be fun to see him come back. We'll see what happens. Again, good special teams guy. They've got a tackle, offensive and defensive tackle, actually. Or offensive tackle, defensive edge rusher there. But overall, most of the guys are going to be back. They got a lot of, I don't know where they're at cap space wise, but I think they're up there. So yeah.
Yeah. I think them and the Rams are starting out right now. It is already betting odds for next year.
Yeah, they're tied at a +9 or something like that.
Yeah, that's, I think it is 9.5 to 1. The Rams and the Seahawks both. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, I do think a couple weeks ago that was probably the Super Bowl. We talked about that. Yeah, when it happened, and those were probably the 2 best teams. Looks like heading into next year, they got the best odds, I guess, right now. So we'll obviously see what happens in the offseason and heading into next year. But should be a pretty good battle out there in the West with those teams again.
Yeah, it really should
be stacked. And the Niners will be.
They'll be there as always.
As always, they'll be back, probably healthy at the beginning of the season. Anyways, we'll see what happens.
Not Kittle. Kittle will be out.
Is he out for the whole season?
He'll be. Yeah. Was he ACL? No, I forget. It feels like forever ago.
It does feel like forever ago.
Let's see. Research it real quick. Oh no, it was Achilles. So yeah, no, he'll be January 11th.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, he'll be out.
He'll be out for a while. Yeah.
So
they will have some injuries there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see with the Patriots team. Obviously they got a pretty young team with Drake May. They had a couple offensive linemen I know that were starters that were rookies, which the Seahawks defense was all over that and taking advantage of those.
Yeah, Will Campbell didn't have the greatest game.
No, yeah, they definitely took over there. Mm-hmm. Christian Gonzalez, I do think
awesome.
He had a really good game. I mean, there was you talked about Shaheed earlier. I mean, he could have blown the top off one of the times.
Yeah,
Gonzalez got back, got the knockdown.
Gonzalez is the only reason they didn't get blown out.
I would agree. Yeah, even those pass breakups, he had some good tackles too on the edge where he was keeping contained well and and just making sure they didn't break a big one that Kenneth Walker really didn't. He had some really good runs. He was just kind of stacking them all up, but other than the touchdown that got called back in the fourth quarter, never really had I think maybe he had 1 30-yard run or something like that, but otherwise, pretty much between the 10 yards or so was the longest.
Yeah, it was a game that to me just never felt in doubt for the Seahawks. Like obviously it was close a little bit with all the field goals. The Patriots were kind of containing them, but they just always felt like they were in control.
Yeah.
I feel like the score doesn't quite, like it almost wasn't that close.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. I never really felt like the Seahawks were going to lose that game. I
Yeah.
guess it's a good point. Like they always seemed like they were in control, even though it was only like 6-0, 9-0. The fact that the Patriots just couldn't get anything going offensively, and
Yeah.
like I said earlier, the first downs, like they could not get a first down. I think the couple of them might have even been penalties that the Seahawks had that like allowed them to get a first down, but it wasn't anything like the Patriots were really doing to earn it
Mhm.
until like you said, late in the game, and some of the garbage time they got more of the yards, but
Yeah.
otherwise, yeah, they pretty much shut them down the whole
For sure.
time. So yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
And
dominating.
yeah, the Patriots lose their record 6th Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
So now they've won and lost the most, I guess.
6-6,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, 500.
6 wins, 6 losses. Yeah,
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
that is interesting. Yeah, I guess they've been there a lot though. That's a lot to say for 12 Super
Yeah,
Bowls.
they have.
That's
Wish my team played 12 Super Bowls.
yeah, that'd
Be
be nice. Although you've had the Seahawks now in a few
Yeah,
times
that's
that
true. Yeah.
I know that's kind of your secondary team, but
Yeah, they've been there.
yeah, that is exciting to have your team.
And it was nice. Marshawn Lynch even had a comment out there earlier today about it's nice to get back at him, I guess, after
After what
over
happened.
10 years. But
Yeah,
yeah, it does feel good.
yeah, no 1 yard passes or
There were not, no.
no, they
None of
didn't have to
those.
go to that, which is good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I guess any other thoughts there?
No, just excited for you.
Yeah.
Congrats on the
Yeah.
big win, and
Great win.
yeah, again, just see what happens next year as we head into things, and
I guess so. And I feel pretty good about them going forward too. Like I said,
yeah,
very complete team, and I don't feel like that's going anywhere.
and McDonald, I mean, heck of
Yeah.
a coach. That guy, yeah, I mean, he's young, 38, right? I
38.
think he is, yeah. So he, yeah, to have the success and the trajectory that he's had already so far, um, it's pretty
Yeah.
awesome to see. I don't know if you heard last night on the call, they were talking about him early on when he took over the head coaching role, like wanted to get better at public speaking and like doing
Okay.
interviews and all that stuff. And I think he had even told the team like, "Hey, I got to get better at this." And so he seems like a guy that like once he puts his mind to something, he'll go out and do it. Right? He's gonna work and work and work and hopefully spend time with his kid at some point here now too.
Yeah.
I know that was the
I saw
funny
that
thing.
comment. Yep.
Yeah, he
Yep.
wasn't 30 minutes a week or whatever that he
Yeah.
sees them. So hopefully the off season he spends a little time there at home
So.
too.
Got him down on the field. That was nice.
That was nice. Yeah, it was good to see him down there. But yeah, heck of a coach. He built a great program there. Be interesting to see how long he can keep some of his staff around too.
Well, yeah, so I was just gonna say my only concern, I guess, is what they do at offensive coordinator with Kubiak obviously going to the Raiders.
Yeah.
Usually wouldn't be too big of a concern. It's just that a lot of the guys are off the market now that it's taken so long to get to the offseason.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it will be interesting to see what they do. I really don't even have a good feel for who it's gonna be. Like I don't really know who's still out there, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting because maybe they just promote from within, but I really don't even know who else is there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, like maybe the quarterback's coach or pass game coordinator, somebody like that.
That's what I was gonna say. It seems like those guys, the pass game coordinator, quarterback coach, whatever of those teams, are usually the next in line or whatever to jump up. So yeah, whether they have one there or maybe there's another team, I guess, with a up and coming coach that maybe can fill in. But
yeah,
but if McDonald has the defense going like he does, so
yeah, might not matter too
Might
much.
not
Well, and
matter.
I guess special teams too. I didn't even realize until last night. You don't really hear about the special teams coordinator a lot, but it's Jay Harbaugh, which is Jim Harbaugh's son, which I guess is cool too.
Another Harbaugh out
He knows
there.
what he's doing.
Yeah.
So.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
So.
All right, I think that kind of wraps up our Super Bowl thoughts for the most part.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more throughout the show, but
and the football season, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, we got a long time now.
Yeah, exactly. The long haul.
On to basketball, baseball, hockey,
all the other sports,
everything else.
Yep.
All right, on to our moving the chains then. We're gonna talk about the best championship game we've ever seen, and so actually the way I looked at this, I guess I'll kind of preface it is you could come at it from an angle of like, oh, best championships ever. I just took it as like the best ones that I've seen. So mine only go back like 10 years ish, which I think will be a fun kind of debate conversation. Because I know you've seen more games than I have.
Mhm.
So that's what I kind of went with, just the ones that I've seen.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun.
I kind of did the same. It was
Okay.
more like which ones I enjoyed, and that's kind of the way I took this.
Okay.
Best championship game we've ever seen, and it's maybe, yeah, there would be some controversy. I'm sure some listeners will say, "Man, really? That's your?" But I think it's more the nostalgia of some of it, like
Yeah.
the things I remember from some of these, and um, yeah, stuff that like I just remember for a long time. So, be interesting when we get in here. I'm kind of curious to see what you got on yours too.
Yeah.
So.
All right. You want to start off then with
Yeah.
football?
So I'm gonna go NFL. Yeah, with the NFL, I had Bills Giants 1991. So
Okay.
obviously you're not gonna have that one on there. You
Nope.
weren't even alive or thought at that point.
Not at all.
I was only 9, so I was still pretty young. But
Okay.
that is like one of the first Super Bowls that I can kind of remember watching with friends. Shout out to the Myers and the Goodriches, my brother, obviously, everybody there. But like going over and watching that, and that is looking back, actually, that Super Bowl is the only one that's been decided by 1 point.
Okay.
So it was like a very exciting Super Bowl also,
Mhm.
but it's the wide right. So the Bills at the end, Scott Norwood has a kick to win, kicks it wide right. Giants end up winning 20-19, I think was the final. The interesting thing I think with that Super Bowl though, and like what I kind of remember is like that's the first one the Bills lost in their
Okay,
4
yeah.
straight Super Bowls.
Yep.
And so I always think back to like what could have happened. Like if the Bills, if Norwood gets that inside the upright, they win that. Do they go to 3 more Super Bowls after? Do they, get that feeling of winning, and do they win a few more? That's a city that's really striving. We thought this year maybe Josh Allen could get them back there.
Mm-hmm.
But it is kind of an interesting, like, that doesn't happen, and then what could have been kind of thing. So that's why I like that one. The memories, obviously, close game, the wide right, and then obviously what happened with the Bills in the 90s. But then even just like growing up with friends, like that was the first of those Super Bowl runs that I kind of remember. Like, hey, yeah, I remember watching all these games together with the guys, and
Right.
like I said, I was about 9 years old, so it's about that age where you start kind of thinking and remembering some of those things.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
for me, that
I
was
like
the
that.
one. Yeah, that was the one I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's a good one. And then for me, I went Super Bowl 51, Patriots 34, Falcons 28. So the 28-3 game. Just that comeback was pretty crazy. Again, one of the, I think, farthest back that I remember. Obviously, I remember some of the Seahawks ones before that. Some of those were earlier, but this is one of those ones I remember. Just kind of bits and pieces, not like the whole game. I would have been, what, 9? 9, yeah. There you go. That's actually funny. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I would have been 9. Again, remember kind of bits and pieces of it, but yeah, just that comeback, incredible, obviously. And so I don't know, fell back on that being, again, one of the younger ones I remember, and probably the greatest comeback in NFL history. It's not the most points anymore. Right.
Yeah.
There was that,
was it the Bills or Jags?
It was that Vikings. You remember that game? That Vikings Colts game?
Oh yes,
because it was Matt Ryan on the Colts.
Yes,
and it was Kirk Cousins. I don't remember how many points that was, but
I don't remember.
I think it was more.
It was crazy. Yeah.
But yes, I think still considering circumstances, the greatest comeback in history, NFL history. So yeah,
and that one went to overtime,
Impressive.
right?
Yeah.
It was 34-28 in overtime. Yeah. That was definitely an exciting one. I didn't remember that one. I just remember thinking, gosh, this is boring. It's a blowout and whatever for the Falcons. And you see like their owner on the sidelines and whatever, Arthur Blank, and you're like, oh man, they're going to win this thing. And then nope. It goes the other way.
Well,
so that's definitely memorable.
The same thing you just mentioned with the Bills. Like, if the Patriots aren't a team that's been there before, are they able to do that? Are they able to pull off a comeback, have the confidence that they can win that game if it's like their first Super Bowl? I think you kind of just roll over and that's it. If you're down 28-3 and it's your first one.
Yeah, there's something to be said for winning and developing a winning culture and knowing how to win. And for sure, I mean, the Patriots, that's one of the reasons why I thought going into this, like, are they going to have that in, this Super Bowl against the Seahawks? Like, the Seahawks were the most dominant team all season, most complete team. But then there's that slight, like, but it's the Patriots. Like, are they going to know how to win? And I guess, the roster is completely different, whatever. So not the same Patriots, but they just kind of have that, I don't know, whatever franchise that they just win. And so, yeah, there's something to be said for that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I don't know. You have basketball next. We'll go to basketball.
Yeah.
All right.
I did put basketball next.
Okay.
So I had Bulls Jazz 98. And that one for me, obviously, that was the 6th of Michael Jordan's championships. That was the documentary, The Last Dance, right, that they made after, or whatever, recently in 2020 for that. But yeah, I mean, I'll never forget that one with it being Jordan's last, and obviously kind of holding the shot at the end, and winning in Utah. The play he made prior to that to get the ball back, right, to go down to make that shot. I mean, he's just a playmaker, right? And so you talk about winning culture and things like that. Like, they knew what it took to win, and nothing was going to stop them. And so, obviously they're going to remember that one because that was their last. And then, obviously everything kind of fell apart after that. For me, really, the NBA kind of fell apart pretty soon after that. So I, stopped paying as much attention, I guess, in the 2000s and 10s and whatever. But yeah, that one will stick with me for a long time as the most memorable for me, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And I think if I would have been around for those ones, they'd be up there.
Yeah.
Obviously, just Jordan, I love even just watching his clips and stuff. Like, yeah, he's a fantastic player. Chicago Bulls, our team. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Wish they could
Love
get
it.
back to those days.
Yeah. You don't like to watch them play for the play-in every year?
No, exactly.
They might be doing it right this year, tanking.
Looks
for
like
real.
they're throwing it away, so it's good.
Which is good.
Yeah.
You see the play of Jaden Ivey, like,
passed it
come down the court.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what he was doing.
I don't know either.
Threw it
right at the guy.
It looks like some of the 5th grade basketball I'm coaching right now. I see some similar plays.
Okay. I actually, again, like, I haven't watched a whole lot of championships. I'm only 18, right? And the playoffs are about the only time I actually turn the NBA on and follow it close, because otherwise it just isn't the most exciting to me. So I actually went with this past 2025 one. I think as far as what I've watched, what I've seen, that was my favorite one. There was just so many things about it. Tyrese Halliburton just kept hitting shot after shot after shot, leading up to those finals, of just like, there's no way you can do it again, right? And then he would do it again. And the Thunder were really dominant, but both those teams got there. Neither franchise won the championship before.
Yeah.
So it was huge for both of them. And I remember, kind of like the narrative around it was like, oh, smaller markets, who wants to watch this? But, like, to me, that's exciting when two teams that haven't been there before to win it are there.
Yeah.
Again, Halliburton, just all the amazing shots, the stories, and obviously got hurt, which was the worst. But it went to 7 games too, which was impressive again, because the Pacers were such an underdog. If I, back last summer, I would have had those numbers on, like, the betting odds. I forget, I didn't pull them back up, but, like, it was insane.
Yeah.
Going up against, like, the buzzsaw that was the Thunder, and then they took them all the way to 7 games. Beginning of game 7, it looked like the Pacers were going to be right there in it.
Yeah.
Till Halliburton got hurt. But yeah, there was just so much action, so much excitement, and so many new faces. And so I love that finals. Honestly.
That was one that I actually got a little bit more interested in, probably because of the smaller markets and 2 teams that hadn't won. That it was kind of like, even for me, like, I might want to kind of check in on this and see what's going to happen. And there were some good battles.
Yeah, there were.
Yeah, that series was really good. So, yeah, I can see where that one stands out.
Yeah,
for sure.
So I like that one.
Yep.
All right, let's go to baseball. What do you got?
This one's pretty easy because
we might have the same one.
Being Cubs fans, I mean, you got the stuff all around us here. I mean, there's not. Again, people listening, I know you're not Cubs fans, or maybe you are, maybe you're not. But if you haven't won it in 100+ years, since 1908, then yeah, that's going to be the one that stands out. Now, I'll say for me and for us, like, we had just moved back from Washington State, from Spokane. So we were living in Illinois at the time. We had been, on the road, other places, whatever. So we hadn't watched a whole lot of, the local sports, I would say, from, like, Illinois, because you had all the other teams and everything who were out west and down south. And so having, like, that, and just the the rivalry here between the Cubs and Cardinals. And then, yeah, obviously the Cubs getting to the World Series the year after that we're back. Having you kids down here and kind of going through that. And the whole time I'm thinking, oh my gosh, these kids, like, you had just won with the Seahawks are in Seattle and now like the Cubs are winning. And
Yeah.
like, man, you don't know how long, like I've waited for like just a championship and something.
Right,
And,
yeah.
so that was really cool. And then I think the other thing that really stands out, obviously, it was an awesome game. Game 7, the rain delay, Cubs come out. Ben Zobrist, who's a local guy here from just down the road in Eureka, ends up, hitting the double that, gets the winning run in, and they close it out. Was incredible. Like edge of the seat. I was standing up, pacing around. I could not sit that whole time, and yeah, to have them win, and then again being local here, Dick's Sporting Goods was open. They got championship gear out. Your mom went out, got
Right,
all the
yeah.
stuff. Woke up the next morning. The whole kitchen's full of hats and shirts and mugs and whatever, right?
Yep.
And so I had to throw one on to head into work the next day, which was pretty fun.
Of course.
But that obviously is going to stand out as
Mm-hmm.
huge, massive championship. The last one that, for me, as a fan of a team, have been able to, be excited for. So pretty cool. Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, again, for me, that's one of the first, maybe the first finals or World Series finals, yeah, that I remember watching, which is kind of why it stands out to me. Like, I remember that double, getting so excited for that. I remember that moment in that game. And again, for me, when I was looking through these, I think one of my criteria, like, it did have to be a close series. Like, that went extra innings, game 7. Like,
That's crazy.
that's as close as it's going to get.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's. I mean, I don't know. I think you kind of got a lot of it already, but
It was pretty
just
fun
to watch our team.
Did you guys stay up? Did you kids stay up for the whole?
I did.
That's what I thought you had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you stayed up. That we let you stay up for that, and it was crazy late. But
It was, yeah.
especially with the rain delay and everything
Mhm.
else. But yeah, that's good.
Yeah, no, I don't think I have much to add. Just
Yeah,
a
that
great
was
game.
a fun one.
All right, then just hockey left, right? Yeah. Okay, what do you got for hockey?
This one, and I think I could go like with the Blackhawks or one of their championships, but honestly, the one that stands out to me is 2018 when Ovi finally won the cup and the Caps beat the Knights. The Knights were, I think it was their second season. I think they had just come in like 2017, so they were kind of a great story and everything. Get to the finals, and yeah, to see Ovi finally hoist the cup, and that was one thing that was always like, can he win the big one? He's a great player and everything, but is he ever going to win the Stanley Cup? For me, just to see him do that, and then now, obviously, with the scoring goals that he just did here this past season, and overtook Gretzky, incredible player. And I guess that's where like I'll just remember seeing the joy on his face that night he hoisted the Stanley Cup, and then him just taking it everywhere, right? And just all the stuff that Ovi was doing with the cup afterwards. I think it's just pretty awesome for me just to see that. So it's something I remember for a long time. Obviously, that Blackhawks and whatever, those were great championships, but and I remember those. But that Ovi one is pretty cool, I think.
Yeah. No, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Bless you.
Ooh. All right. Back at it. So I actually went, you mentioned the Golden Knights. I went with the one that the Golden Knights won in 2023. They beat the Panthers 4-1.
Mhm.
So this is my only one on here that wasn't like a super close one. And I just picked it more because looking back at the Stanley Cups that I remember watching, there just wasn't one that stuck out to me necessarily, unless I went back to the Blackhawks, and then I'm kind of stretching it. Like I don't really remember those ones.
Yeah.
So the Golden Knights over the Panthers just stood out to me because, as you mentioned, the Golden Knights were new in that 17-18 season, I think, and just having such a new franchise make it so quickly, I think just showed that like anybody could do it, and it was really cool just to see a new team get there so fast, build up. And so I think it was just kind of a fun thing for people to watch. It was a fun thing for me to see. And so that kind of just stands out to me.
Yeah. No, the Knights are great. I mean, they, like you said, having a young franchise, getting up so quickly to
Mhm.
make a Stanley Cup Finals. They lost, obviously, and then they come back years later and win the whole thing. They've been a great story. They built that thing right,
Right.
for
Yeah.
sure.
No, it's impressive to me. So yeah, that's what stuck out to me, and I figured I'd just go with that one.
Yep.
So yeah. All right. Any closing thoughts? I think we're pretty good there.
No, that was fun. It was fun to kind of reminisce and think
Yeah.
about some of
It's fun to
those.
think back to those.
Yeah, those cool, those championships.
All right, we're gonna move on to our 2 minutes in the box then. Who are you putting in the box this week?
I'm going to put bad Super Bowl commercials in this
Okay.
week. I do think, I earlier when I was talking about championships back to like '91, and I just remember back in the '90s watching the Super Bowl commercials and how exciting they were. We had the Bud Bowl, which kind of kept you all through the game, like excited to see what's going to happen in the Bud Bowl. Which I don't even know. Do you even know what that is? With
No,
the
I don't
guys,
think
so like
so.
you'd have Budweiser and Bud Light bottles like playing against each other. They would play.
Okay.
It was like a whatever on the commercial, and they'd have all different things. They'd have the score up, and then it was like throughout the game you had the Bud Bowl going, and it was kind of fun just to like, oh man, here's a commercial for the Bud Bowl. Like, I wonder what the score is going to be now, and like throwing different things in there. That was really cool. Budweiser had a bunch of really good commercials. I feel like through the '90s. Now I don't know. I like last night I was thinking like, what were the good commercials? And like the tight end one I thought was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously shout out to the one that had Greg, the skiing guy. Did you see that one with the ski instructor? The guy Greg has to buy the drinks for everybody because he's last down the hill
I think
and
so.
or down the mountain, whatever, when they're skiing. So he gets a ski instructor and goes out and does all this stuff with them, and then he comes out and blows everybody away, and then somebody else has to buy the drinks or whatever. But anyways, Greg is the guy, and so I, obviously
Yeah.
relate to that. But those were the only ones that stood out. The rest of like the crypto ones, and then I felt like there were a lot of like
I remember the Budweiser one actually.
with the eagle and the
Yeah.
horse. That one was cool. I would
that was
agree.
actually one that stood out to me.
That one, and it wasn't funny. Obviously, it was more
Right,
kind of
yeah.
a serious one. So it was a cool, serious, all about America, whatever.
Right.
But I like the funny like Budweiser ones, and sometimes some of these commercials I feel like are trying too hard
Mm-hmm.
to like make it too funny, and it's like I don't know, it's just not hitting with me. I feel like the Super Bowl commercials, like, why do we get back to like some of these?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
Bud Bowl things.
Something's changed because I even remember like when I was younger, like 8, 9, 10. Like I remember them being a lot funnier than even now. Like you're right. Like and maybe like I don't know. I don't think I was paying as much attention to the commercials last night as I had years past. But like I don't know. Like there was just nothing that really stood out to me thinking back. Like I mentioned the Budweiser one, but like I don't know.
Well, that and maybe like having the commercials released like a week early, like YouTube, all the other places
like
have
I
them.
think I had seen the Budweiser one actually.
Yeah. Like it's already released and it's already out there, and so like you said, like people aren't really anticipating or like waiting for that commercial, and so it's like, yeah, I've already seen this one, or like, oh, I can go get food now, or
Right.
like I said, like back in the '90s, man, like you were waiting to see like what's going on in the Bud Bowl, or what's this commercial gonna be for Doritos or whatever. And like there were some really good ones that I don't know. I don't feel like we're like sitting on the edge of our seat because everything just comes out like that to the internet, and you get to see it beforehand. So Super Bowl commercials, putting them in the box.
Yeah, no, I
Let's get some
like
better
that
ones
one.
next
Yeah,
year.
it's a good thought. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna throw the Pro Bowl in the box. I know that was about a week ago from now, but there just wasn't much going on this week, to be honest with you. I saw ratings were down 60% just from last year, which is a huge drop. And there's a few reasons. I mean, for one, the flag football, like there's a way to make it fun. It just, I don't know, it's running old for some people. Like it was different when it was in Hawaii outside. It was real football. Like, and I get why they're going away from it. You don't want people getting hurt. There were big hits going on that like players don't want to risk, an injury.
Yeah.
And so I get that, and I don't necessarily know that there's a great solution, but I think part of the solution is maybe the TV window not being Tuesday night at 7.
It's a weird time.
I don't know what was up with it. It hasn't been like that before.
No.
Like I don't know what was wrong with Sunday. Maybe there was a lot of college basketball on that took the window. I don't really know.
It could be, but the NFL doesn't seem to care who's
No,
on what
not
days, right?
usually.
Like
So-
Christmas Day they took over this year from the NBA.
Right.
I don't know why they'd care about a Sunday before the Super Bowl when there's, that's when the Pro Bowl always is. Like, who cares about college basketball? They wouldn't care.
Yeah, no. So I would imagine that was part of it. Like, who's going to sit down Tuesday night, turn on the Pro Bowl? Like, not many people.
No.
Especially because Tuesday night is usually college basketball. And it's just a Tuesday night instead of Sunday during the day. So, like, I'm sure that's part of it. But then also just, the game's progressively kind of gone down. It's not even outside anymore. It's in a, what do you call it? Like a convention center.
Yeah.
There's more and more players saying no just because they don't see the points. And the selections, like you even mentioned, Shedeur Sanders, Joe Flacco, like it's just dropping off, and I don't know, it's dying.
I wonder. They've talked about adding another game, right, to the NFL, but like all the other leagues have the
All-Star break,
middle of the season, and like, next weekend's President's Day. You've got the potential extended weekend to Monday. Why not stick the Pro Bowl? Yeah, if you stick the Pro Bowl mid-season, extend it out 1 week, then you get Super Bowl weekend, President's Day. You get Pro Bowl kind of in the middle where you don't have random players that are coming in. Do your little flag football thing or whatever and skills competition. Like, people are going to be more invested in like paying attention then than now on a Tuesday night in February. Nobody's watching that.
Yeah, I agree. Like middle of the season too, if it's Sunday during the day, like people still want to watch football on Sunday.
Yeah.
So
yeah, throw it in.
And like I don't know where that be, like November-ish sometime, October.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing. Yeah, it'd be somewhere late October, early November, right? So like that'd be perfect. And I almost feel like with it being at the end of the season, we forget about some of the like storylines from the beginning of the season where like at one point Jonathan Taylor was going to win MVP, or like some players just kind of get lost in like what they did first half of the season, where like if it's in the middle, we're not going to forget them.
Yeah, that is true.
Happens right there. I think, like you said, people are invested. They're going to actually want to turn it on.
Yep.
And players are looking for. We had 18 games. We want another bye. Well, there you go. There's your bye.
Yeah.
And there would be like this weird gap between the conference championships and the Super Bowl being 2 weeks. Like, it just feels like forever. I would imagine they wouldn't still do that. Like, I get why they do it recovery wise, but like, it's just a long time.
It is a long, yeah.
It hasn't always been like that, right?
Gosh, I don't even remember. That might be right. Like way back, it just went straight in. I don't know when they slotted the Pro Bowl in between there. How that?
Yeah, I don't either.
I have to go back and look and see.
I think Pro Bowl used to be after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that might be right.
Oh, and I guess players wouldn't be as hurt, so like more players would actually be there if it was in the middle of the season.
Yeah, I don't know. Something to think about.
I don't know. Here you go, NFL. Okay, what do we got? Yeah, that's our 2 minutes in the box. Do you want to run through the 2 minute drill real quick? I know we talked about
can do that.
Out, but we'll run through it real quick. We think we might go longer on the Super Bowl, but I think we got time. Okay. So let's go football first. Is the NFL better today or 15 years ago?
I'm obviously going to go 15 years ago because that's where I feel like a little old school. But I feel like the physicality of the sport was better then. They've taken some of that away. I feel we talked about some of the defensive hits last week and just kind of weird rule changes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like 15 years ago was a lot different and a lot better,
sure,
from my perspective. So
yeah. For the sake of the argument, like I don't know, I think there's good things about today and 15 years ago. So I'm just going to say today. Like I do like watching some of the old hits, but I'll just go with today. Just I think from a player safety perspective, I think there are like some of those hits did go too far. And the offense, like obviously a lot of these rule changes does favor it. But it is fun to watch sometimes. And as we saw, I think we talked about the Seahawks, like there are still great defenses.
Yeah.
Defensive head coaches that are successful, like Mike McDonald. And so I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I have a super firm opinion either way, where I think there's good and bad to each, but I'll go with today. Just, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm used to.
Yeah. I get that. I don't know. Some of these rule changes,
the
kickoff rule change.
The kickoff
some of the
stupid.
tackling things and whatever.
Like,
I don't know. I get they're trying to open things up offensively, but yeah. I love that. It's a physical game. You're going to have some hits, and
there's a contact sport.
It's contact sport. Exactly. Don't take that away.
Okay, basketball, is the 3-point shot hurting or helping the game?
Hurting. The reason I say this, I just got done coaching a game tonight too, and there's fifth and sixth graders out there, and like the first thing that these kids do when they're like warming up is they're chucking threes up. And it's like you have no business going to shoot threes, but that's what they see everybody doing, and they think this is what I got to do. I got to shoot threes, and it's like start with the basics and the fundamentals and whatever. And so I understand the analytics behind it and shooting and like, hey, three is more than
three
two.
is more than two.
I get it, right? I get that, but like, I just think it's hurting the younger levels and the development of some of these kids to like learn the game, the fundamentals of the game, versus like just going out and just chucking up a bunch of threes because that's what they see everybody else doing.
Yeah,
and then I feel like the games are so streaky. Like some of these teams, like you're hitting your shots, great. You're hitting threes, you're going to blow teams out. And then when you're not, it's like, like you can't score. So I just like get back to some of the basics, the fundamentals, and I think teach the younger kids too, what they should be doing versus all this other stuff that's shooting threes all the time.
Yeah, I'd agree with hurting. I just think, you hit a lot of it again, but just the fundamentals and just so much is focused on shooting that we lose so much of the like inside presence, the center, at least in the NBA, like just isn't as important. Like you have to have a big guy to rebound, but they don't do as much as far as scoring. And so there's just some of that lost where I enjoy watching the center get the ball, make a move down low. And we lose a lot of that, I think, with the 3-point shot and the emphasis that's put on it. So yeah, I'll agree there. Baseball, are clutch hitters real or a myth?
It's got to be real, I think, from my standpoint. I think it's a mindset. We talked about winning earlier as a mindset and like the culture of winning. I feel like clutch hitters are kind of the same thing. Like they know they get in the box and they're like, they're going to get a hit. And so just that confidence that they have, nothing really sways them. I think it's real.
Yeah, no, I agree that it's real. And like I was taking notes for this, and I wanted to get like stats down, right? Like, but how do you like quantify being clutch, right? Like you just can't. And so I couldn't really find a whole lot there, but I just think that there's something to be said about stepping up with confidence and believing and visualizing that you're going to hit, have a hit, have a home run, whatever you need. So I'll agree with you.
Yep.
And then hockey, is hockey underrated in the United States?
I think so. I do think the Olympics are going to help with that here this year, but I wonder if it can be sustained. I guess the other way to look at it is it underrated? Like, is it to the point where it should be, included with all the other four sports? I just think there's some things, people may not realize how exciting the Stanley Cup playoffs and things like that are. Where again, I think the Four Nations helped last year. I think the Olympics will help kind of draw more attention in.
Awesome.
Yeah, and that's where I think people will get more excited. But can it prolong past, another season or whatever, or even through the Stanley Cup playoffs? Like I feel like this Stanley Cup playoffs with the Olympics being here, people are going to get real invested in some of that. As long as like the Olympics goes really well for probably U.S. and Canada, honestly. Past that into next year, I don't know if it'll be sustained or not. But right now I'd say it's underrated.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, even I like the way I talked about it. The one episode where we ranked them, right? Like, it's just not something that I think a lot of people are really invested in. It's not like a part of the culture like football is. And so, I think it's a little underrated. Like, it is one of the professional sports, and I think it's impressive what those guys can do. So, I'd agree that it's a little underrated. I think there's other countries that care a little bit more about it, like Canada. But I think international events and just, I think bringing that sense of like American pride to it does help. I definitely would say it's underrated. It just gets overshadowed by football, basketball, baseball a little bit. So okay, and then our wild card, hardest championship to repeat, which I think is kind of similar to, we've had a longer conversation about hardest championship to win, but what do you think is the hardest to repeat?
I don't know. I debated on this one. I think between football and hockey, maybe it's the physicality of those sports that's like it takes a toll on you. and maybe like just having the Super Bowl right now makes me think like it's the Super Bowl because I think like these two teams that just played, like for them to get back again next year and like the schedule they're going to have set with them, playing the top teams, um, it's really hard to go through that season again and then be healthy throughout the entire year, get to the playoffs, go on the run that you need to go on in the playoffs. Uh, Again, I think we talked about hockey and like the grueling nature of the 16 games you got to win in the playoffs. But I just feel like the NFL, the way it's set up with your schedule for the next season, it's tough. The Eagles this year had a gauntlet to go through.
Right, yeah.
And they obviously made the playoffs. They went out in the first round. Didn't have anything to do with their schedule the rest of the season, but I feel like
they were a little more injured, though.
They were more injured, yeah. So the physicality of that and like who they were playing, I think really, from my standpoint, that's the hardest.
Yeah, this is one where I kind of debated too, because like it's not basketball because we see that happen a lot. It's not baseball because I could see the Dodgers repeating pretty easily this year. So it is definitely between hockey and football. And I wish I would have pulled up like how often it's happened in both actually, but I didn't. But I think, I don't know. I think I'll go with football too. Your point about the injuries kind of sold me. I think that we see a lot more injuries in football. Obviously, it is supposed to be more of a contact sport. And hockey, there's injuries, but just not quite as many. Where like if you build a team in hockey, you're assuming they're all going to be there. I think. But football, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, even this year, like Lamar Jackson being out for a few games for the Ravens and then not quite being right when he first came back. I mean, they missed the playoffs, right? Like that had a big effect. And other teams like that, like
Jaden Daniels too.
Yeah, which obviously they didn't win a championship, but like just the perspective of getting back to where they were before,
right?
Like,
yeah,
it's hard to do. And you mentioned the Eagles already, so yeah, I think I'll agree with football. And then moving on to From the Stands, what do you got?
I don't know if we had any good comments or anything. If you saw anything out online, that,
I mean, there were.
I'll give a quick shout out to the Ritters because they were. Mrs. Ritter actually has been listening while she's cleaning the house, which is pretty awesome, which I didn't expect. I think I joked about, your grandma or my mom saying, who the heck is going to listen to this thing? So shout out to Mrs. Ritter and Mr. Ritter for listening in here and appreciate the comments. Mr. Ritter's always got some good comments for us, especially when we're talking about the Browns. So I'm excited to hear you talking about Myles Garrett, being the such a great player. I think he was a little upset with your comments about Shedeur making the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
But no, it's appreciate everybody again listening in here, and I got some feedback from Mr. White on the baseball take I had last week. So it's good to outside of this context, it's like
it's good to hear from people.
Yeah, radio. You think you get callers calling in. We have these side conversations, right? I think with people that maybe hear what we say and then either shoot us a text or we talk to in person, and it's fun to like hear their side of it versus like what we've maybe said on the mic here. So keep it coming. It's always fun to have the debates with everybody as we're doing this and having a lot of fun with it too. So
yeah, my favorite comment on TikTok this week was a guy called Mike I did one about the hip drop tackle, a little clip. And he said to keep this genius in front of a mic, we need more of this.
Nice.
When I was talking about it. So I liked that one. There were a few more, but that was my favorite because
cool.
He called me a genius.
Nice.
So I'll take that one.
Yeah. Him and Mr. Meyer talking about you. Must have your brains from your mom, I think is what he said.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Kyle.
Whatever. All right, then extra innings. What do you got? Do you have anything?
The big thing, I think, obviously, we talked about the Olympics getting started up. It's here and going. Unfortunately, Lindsey Vonn broke her leg in the downhill yesterday, which was too bad to see. Obviously, early. I mean, day 3? What it was, the Olympics opening ceremony was Friday and then Sunday, so I guess a couple days in. Right. So that was too bad. But hockey this week, I said, people are going to be more interested in hockey. So you got the U.S. starting up this week. They got Latvia Thursday, Denmark on Saturday, and they played Germany on Sunday. They got a pretty good draw, I think, for what's looking like to get to the next round. So hopefully that all goes well. But yeah, that'll be fun to check out this week. And then there's a lot of good college basketball going on now. So I
There
think
is, yeah.
Kansas just upset Arizona,
Yep.
who is number one in the country, undefeated still until tonight. So that's kind
Is
of
anybody
exciting.
else
And
undefeated anymore?
I don't know if Miami of
Miami
Ohio
still?
was. Yeah, they were. But there's a lot of teams that I would say probably the top 10 at least are like championship potential. And you probably got some dark horses out there too that
Mm-hmm.
could sneak in there pretty easily. So it's going to be a fun February heading into March here into conference tourney season. Again, football's kind of done here for a little while, but I think we'll pick up with some of these other sports, and
Yeah, definitely.
there's going to be a lot to talk about and to go through here.
Mhm.
So
Miami is still undefeated.
they're still undefeated. All
They're
right,
the last
so
team then? That's it, right?
I think so. I think they were the
Nebraska
last.
lost. Arizona, yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So yeah, should be a fun month here. Basketball.
Yeah, it will be. Yep. All right. Well, then I got a couple things real quick. I talked about in my, I think my 2 minutes in the box, or maybe extra innings. I don't remember. Last week about the NBA, G League, whatever players that are trying to come back, and Charles Bediako is now no longer able to play at Alabama.
The court
that happened this morning. Yeah, different court, or I don't know, another court rule that he is not able to play. So he's now done. Played 5 games for Alabama, averaged 10 points, 4.6 rebounds. They went 3-2, which to me is probably a win. I just think there's a point where it's too far and you don't want it to get too out of control
Mm-hmm.
if you're the NCAA. And so I think that getting shut down at a lower, like, I don't know if this is another state court, but like that getting shut down at some point, I think is probably better for the sport so more people don't try it. And it sets a precedent of like, hey, this really isn't okay. We can't just be letting pro players come back.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, to me, I think is good.
Thankfully.
Yes.
Yeah, that could have been.
Seems kind of insane to me.
Yeah, that could have been crazy. I do think, like we were talking about college basketball, there's probably a lot to be said though with guys staying, and like all these, there's some really good teams out there now. Like I said, there's probably at least 10 that could win, and it is a lot of like guys aren't just jumping after their first year to go to the NBA to go make money, right? The nil is probably keeping them in school,
right?
So it's kind of interesting. Hey, like you said, hopefully not people coming back, and it sounds like they kind of squashed that, which is good. But guys may stick around, and then I'm just hoping they don't transfer as much through the portal. But like if they can keep that core together, yeah, it'll be kind of exciting to see what happens here.
Yeah. Yep. And then I guess I'll just throw out by the time people are listening, it might be today that the game is, but Tuesday night Purdue plays Nebraska, which is a pretty big basketball game. But then big for us too. Your alma mater, and then school I'm planning on going to next year. So
yeah,
see what happens. Huge game for both of them. Honestly, they really both need to win.
Purdue has been struggling. I mean, they beat
struggling,
Oregon the other day, but it was a close. They were 19.5-point favorites and won by 2
at home too.
At home, yeah. I mean, it was
ugly.
It was bad. So yeah, they'll be on the road at Nebraska tomorrow. It looks like Nebraska's favored by 2.5 right now. Nebraska ball.
Yeah, that's right. They're a fun team to watch.
They are.
Enjoying them.
Never won a tournament game, so we'll see if this is the year that they can finally get there.
I would hope so.
Well, that'd be crazy if they're taking all the way here this year. Nebraska,
that would be something. Yeah.
But yeah, Boilermakers.
They've been struggling. Here. I don't know. Like I almost watch them, and it's like they don't quite know what they want to do, which is weird.
Yeah. I think they're looking. It's almost like when Edie was there, and they just like look to him. He's got to take over. It's almost the same with Braden Smith now. They're all looking at him like make the play, make a pass. He wants to make an extra pass or whatever. And then these late games, they have a couple where he's making turnovers at the end of the game, and that's how they lost the one at UCLA. I think he had like 3 turnovers in the last 2 minutes, and they ended up losing that one. And so hopefully they get back. They were really clicking early in the season, and you would think teams like as they gel together, like the core is there with Lawyer and Braden Smith, Kaufman Wren, and then they obviously added Clef this year, and they've got some others around there, but they just were gelling kind of early on, and then now it's like they kind of, I don't know, they got back to what they were doing or aren't doing what they were doing before. Can they get back to that here at the end of the season? It'll be kind of, like I said, hopefully they turn it around here, but tomorrow's a big one for them. So we'll see.
Yeah. No, I'll be excited. Definitely be tuning into that, seeing what's going on.
Yep.
All right. I guess just as far as our scoreboard, just looking back, I mean, I liked our conversation, I guess, just on our moving the chains about best championship.
Mhm.
Like, obviously, we agreed on the baseball, which I kind of expected, but
Yeah.
otherwise, I like the different opinions. Just we've seen different stuff, which is fun to talk about, and then 2 minute drill again. Lots of agreeing overall, but that's okay. Again, some similar opinions, but yeah, no, that's okay. That's
Yeah, a
okay
little
for
bit I
sure.
think we disagreed on, but yeah, still.
Yeah, no, overall, I've the football, I guess,
Yeah.
today or 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's all we've got for today, guys. So if you like the conversation, make sure to follow, rate, and share the show. We'll be back next time breaking down the biggest stories and our generational opinions from the 4 major sports. Until then, we'll see you for the next play.
Peace out, guys.